Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm going to be reviewing the gold futures trade that I took today, using the Algovision CRT indicator. So let's get into it. So weekly open I have marked right here. Um, that was marked incorrectly. I don't know why I had it there, but okay. So weekly open started here. Yesterday, Sunday, 6 p.m. is when futures open. The futures contracts open. So I took a trade right here, and I will show you the trade in a few minutes, the execution. But this is what I saw. So we got a 2 hour down close candle after the weekly open, another 2 hour bearish candle, wicked the first candle's low, right, and closed above. So we got a bullish indication. The Algovision indicator, once this candle closed, it gave this signal. So it gave a bullish signal here. Um, so bear that in mind. So now I'm looking at a 2 hour, right? What I really saw was on the 1 hour, we had this large down candle. And then these inside bar candles is why the 2 hour is where Algovision called it. But anyway, the 1 hour was this right here, right? So we had this large down candle, which is the same length as the 2 hour one. But because of this inside bar, these inside bars, it did not show the indication on the 1 hour. So I took a long after I gave the long signal. I came in my chart, looked at what had happened. Right here we purged this low at 9 p.m. So that's a new hourly open. We purged this low, thick down close candle. This is important. This is making it higher probability how thick this down close candle was. So if you think about it logically, what happened? They pushed price down with a thick down close candle trying to get retail traders to go short here and stop them out of their positions. If they went long, where would their stop loss have been before here? It would have been down here, probably. So they push them out of their long positions. They get them to go short. Once they get them to go short, they push it up a little bit, dropped it back down, wicked this. Because this was only wicked, the trade was still valid. The long setup was still valid. If this was closed below right here, this would not be a valid CRT setup anymore. So stop loss was right there. So the entry I took was when we got retracement after the 1 hour closed, which was, so the 9 o'clock 1 hour wicked this low, right? Wicked that low. The 2 hour, the 1 hour closed at 10 o'clock, and the 2 hour closed at 10 o'clock. So what happened after 10 p.m.? Let's mark 10 p.m. and I'll show you. Give TradingView a second. TradingView is not working with me here. Okay, here you go. So once 10 p.m. closed, what happened? This is the first 5 minute candle after the 10 p.m. closed. So this is the first 5 minute candle. What happened? We got a low time frame CRT in here. You see candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. Low time frame CRT into the low of this order block, did not close below. I was taking entries once I saw the 10 o'clock candle close. So as soon as this closed, I took an entry because we were already below the order block entry, right? So this was a pretty good setup. My stop loss was this low, a close below this low. Why? Because wicks don't show you what price is actually looking to do. The candle bodies do. So this setup I took off of this order block, but because we were below it, once the CRT got confirmed, I took an entry right here because we were below the order block entry, right? So the Algovision indicator, remember, called this 2 hour CRT. Just hide drawings. Let's look at the indicator one more time. So called this swing low, put in, CRT, called it, and then this closed at 10. So I took an entry off of the open of this candle because it was below that order block price, which is where I would have been entering. So I took an entry there, and the target for me was the midpoint. Sorry, I already have that drawn. was the midpoint and the high of candle one. So the midpoint was right here, took profit here, and then the high was right here, and that would have been the final take profit. And you would have missed out on this move, but ultimately we retraced the entire move today on Monday, the 14th of October, 2024. So that was the setup that Algovision called right there. So that's what I wanted to show. And then the other thing I want to show is the Bitcoin move that we just called. So Algovision, let me load it up. Binance. Let's do the USDT. So Algovision called this move right here. Okay, so it's Thursday. We got a bullish signal right here. You can play around with the order block entry that we had. I don't think it retraced entirely into the order block, but it gave a bullish signal, so you would have been looking long here. And if you longed, you would have caught that entire Bitcoin move. Let's get rid of that. So with something like this, right? Let me see, where does this close? 8 p.m. So with something like this, I would be considering, this is the Algovision order block, right? Now with these order blocks, they are predetermined because you can't tell an indicator to determine it based off of your own knowledge of how to trade, right? So this is where Algovision would have wanted you to enter, but because this order block got closed above and it already got retraced into right here, see how this candle wicked into this order block? It's not as likely that it does not have to return to this price level. If it did not wick into it after it closed above it, and you could assume that we might test this again. But because we already tested this, it's possibly not needed to be tested again. So with something like this, I would have entered possibly off of this candle because what this is technically just a higher time frame order block as well. This entire leg, this entire bearish price leg is just a higher time frame order block. So if you look, let's see, about 2 hour. If you look at this 2 hour, where's the order block on the 2 hour? It's right here, right? And where it got closed above right here. But that entire price leg was an order block. So also, what do you see in here, right? So if you go to, I believe it was the 4 hour. No, it was the 2 hour. You get a low time frame CRT at the low of candle 2, right? That's important to note. When you have a low time frame CRT at the low, at the manipulation low or high, depending on if it's a bullish or bearish CRT, it's higher probability. And if you waited for candle 3 to close, if you wait for candle 3 to close, you could have taken an entry on any sort of retracement. So you could have taken this, for example, this inverse fair value gap right here, right? And you could have entered off the inverse fair value gap, stop probably below right here because you want good risk to reward. And if you would have put it at the low of candle 2, would not have been good risk to reward, unless if you were targeting the other end, and that would have been 2 to 1. So that would have been pretty good still. But the midpoint would not have been that great of risk to reward. So with Algovision, we had it call this entire Bitcoin move. Let's load it back up. Gave the bullish signal. Didn't retrace into the order block, but you could have used another entry pattern to take an entry. This is giving you the draw on liquidity. This is giving you the likeliness that's going to go up to here and to the midpoint. It might be off a little bit, but this indicator is giving you the way that price is likely to go on the daily. So if you use the daily, would be the best way to use Algovision other than how we've developed it so that we can implement it into a bot strategy where it just trade for you, which we're still in development of. How I would be using this is that I would be looking for a daily sort of CRT and then trading the lower time frame in that direction. Because if you get a daily CRT, your lower time frame is going to likely be bullish as well. So that daily CRT is telling you that price is probably going to continue up, right? So if you trade a lower time frame, like for example, let's look at like a 1 hour, for example. If you traded a lower time frame, right, you could trade lower time frame CRTs in that direction, right? In that bullish direction because your higher time frame is bullish. People want to know how to get a daily bias. This is how you get a daily bias. You use Algovision and it'll give you a daily bias. You wait for one of the indicators to pop up on the daily and you trade a lower time frame entry model based off of your drawn liquidity being higher, and it will increase your stats for sure because you have a predetermined drawn liquidity or bias for the day. So for example, you could have traded a lower time frame CRT, like this 1 hour right here, below an old low, probably SMT here with ETH if I had to guess. So possible SMT, right? Something like that. And then take an entry off a lower time frame order block. Here's your order block, closed above, thrust candle, entry off of fair value gap, aim for the high, right? So this is all just showing you how you can use Algovision to help your trading become more probable that you will be on the side of the trend, right? Because when something is trending and not just ranging in a marketplace, you want to be on the right side of the trend. Otherwise, you're never going to make money because you always enter against the trend, which is the main problem for most traders. That was a big problem for me a long time ago. I would enter something that's pumping just because I would think, oh, well, it's just going up, so now it has to go down. But that's not the case. So Algovision called this entire move right here and gave you essentially what I think is going to end up being low of the month. And that's for a completely different video. But it did call this signal right here, the CRT, and you would have caught a huge move on Bitcoin. That is a $6,000 move about on Bitcoin right now. And probably going to be even larger. I think that this is going to be low of the month. So this is going to probably run to the highs. And you would have caught this move if you had Algovision or some sort of long setup that you would have taken, right? But Algovision is what I believe is going to help people have some sort of daily bias where they can increase their trading probabilities because they're trading with a higher time frame movement. But not even just that, you can use it as an indicator that you take entries based off of. And the more that you filter, the ways that you want to filter and find things that work and things that don't based off our filters and our indicator, you'll become better at using it and you'll become more profitable if you end up deciding to run our strategy as like some sort of bot indicator, right? Where it can just trade for you. So that's the reviews on the Algovision trades so far this week. I did take the GC one, so I will. One second. Just go to this. So here's my entry and exit on GC. So you can see I entered off that lower time frame CRT, entered off the third candle at the low of the third candle, 662.4, 662.5 right here. I took an entry once that got CRT'd and it wicked that. Remember that order block? It wicked that low. So I took an entry, went long, targeted the midpoint, and was out there for a W. So that's how I used Algovision yesterday, and I'm going to keep using Algovision, and I hope that you guys take that into consideration when DMing us, and we'll give you indicator for free to try it out and everything, because we want to help people is our main goal. So we want to help people, become profitable, because that's what we're all in this for, is to become profitable and better traders. So we think that Algovision is going to help people, and that's why we're bringing it to the market and trying to get eyes on it. So I hope you enjoyed the review, and I will see you later on.